Good afternoon, good morning, and good afternoon, depending on where you are. But welcome again to another episode of Cooking with Carrington. Guys, thank you for all your feedback and thank you for everything that you give to us. Today is going to be something that's going to be quick and easy that you guys can make for your football festivities. It's that time of year, and as you can see, I'm ready for it. And I guess you all can guess who my favorite team is because I know there's probably only one team in the NFL that's worthy of the honor, and that is the New York Giants. All right. So today, guys, we're going to be doing a few things. We're going to make a little bit of turkey nachos. We're going to do wings with 3 different sauces on them. We're going to make those sauces. And we're also going to make some guacamole, and we're going to make some fresh corn tortilla chips. Now, we're going to use those chips for chip and dip. We're going to use them for the nachos and everything else. So guys, let's get ready, strap in, put your seatbelt on, turn on the NFL or college today, and get ready to have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon with Cooking with Carrington. So if you have any questions, you have any suggestions or anything along the way, just let our wonderful moderators know, and they will get that to me, and we'll keep it going. So be lively and let's interact, guys. All right. So let's go ahead and we're going to start off with our turkey nacho, cooking off the turkey for the nachos. So what I'm going to do, I use the ground turkey, 8515. All right. That ground turkey is nice and lean, but it has just enough fat so that it'll give it a little bit of flavor. All right. We're also going to get our ingredients together. Now, you could have bought a taco seasoning packet, which is fine. So again, guys, this stuff we're doing today is going to be quick and easy, nothing too intricate, so that you guys can have fun for your day, get things done, and still enjoy it. So you could have got a little turkey, a taco seasoning packet. We also put a recipe up for a taco seasoning that we use. And we do, again, I like buying bulk when I can. So we have a little bit of smoked paprika. We have some granulated garlic. We have some black pepper. We also have a little bit of tomato paste. We're going to use a little bit of water and a little bit of ground cumin. So on these now, I put measurements out there for these items, but again, this is really, really, really subjective, and it depends on your flavor, your taste profile, and how you want to present. You could even add into this a little bit of cayenne or some crushed red pepper if you wanted something really spicy or along, so you can do whatever you want. This is just a roadmap to get to your destination, and that's to make somebody smile so they can have a party in their mouth and enjoy their game and enjoy their day. All right, so let's rock and roll. I'm going to walk on over to the stove, and I'm going to turn it on. Turn the pan on, get it hot. Now remember, always get your pan hot before you add anything into it. Never add an item into a cold pan, okay? You always want to get your pan hot and make sure that's going. In the meantime, while that's happening right now, I'm going to come on over here, and I'm going to make sure I already turned my fryer on. You guys want to go ahead and start getting your oil ready. So because we're going to be doing the tortilla chips while the turkey's starting to cook, okay? And then we're going to have that ready and set aside to rock and roll. All right. So while that pan is getting hot, I touch it with my hand. I don't know if you should, but I just touch it just to get a surface feel on it. All right. And it's starting to get there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add this ground turkey meat in here. Again, 8515. All right. I do want to hear a little bit of a sizzle, and I'm not hearing it yet. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn the fire up a little bit more. Now this fire should be on a medium flame, okay? And the reason we want that pan nice and hot is so that it sears in the juices that are in the meat. All right, so this is a little bit cool, but it is starting to cook. And as you can see, there's a little moisture in the bottom of the pan right now. So it means it's starting to cook. Oh, I hear that sound. Talk to me. Ooh, it sounds good. So now you know it's ready. See, your food, your pans, your pots, everything will talk to you. When you hear those sounds, that's just like music to my ears. So I'm going to put it in here. And we're going to spread it around. And this is only 1 pound. And this is gonna be more than enough for what we're gonna do. All right? We'll get it all in. All right. Oh yeah, you hear that? Woo-wee. Now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna wash my hands while that's cooking. Gotta keep your hands clean, keep your kitchen clean, keep it safe. Clean kitchen is a safe kitchen. While that's going, again, I'm gonna go ahead and add my seasonings. All right, and we're gonna add a little bit of granulated garlic. We're gonna add the smoked paprika. We're gonna add some cumin and some black pepper, which is gonna infuse with the turkey meat while it's cooking. So I'm just gonna come on over and my measurements might be a little bit different than yours. I do like things with a little bit of a kick, not too much, but I do like flavor, okay? And the reason I'm adding this now, while the meat is just starting, is so that we can get all those good flavors infused in there, like I said a minute ago, and they're gonna really set it off. So here it is. I got about a half a teaspoon of cumin. This is a cumino molito, all right? Which means ground cumin, okay? We're gonna go ahead and do the same amount with black pepper. All right, that is looking good already. All right. Same with the garlic. Now I use granulated garlic, guys, and I like to buy again. I like to buy my seasonings when I can in bulk. It's cheaper. They normally move faster and they don't sit on the shelf that long. All right. So if you follow our blog, and we'll be finishing up our trip to the supermarket this week, and it'll be all about the grocery end, and that'll explain a little bit more about how things should be moved throughout the grocery department. Okay. So now here's the pièce de résistance. So this is a sweet smoked paprika. Now I could have smoked my own paprika, which I do sometimes, but it's one of those things where it takes a little bit of technique because they can burn very quickly. So you can also buy it. And you want to necessarily buy the sweet smoked, not the hot smoked. And the reason I say that the sweet smoked is from Hungarian paprika. The hot smoked is normally from Mexican paprika. So we're not trying to make this such a hot dish. We just want some good flavor. And that smoked paprika smells wonderful and it tastes great. So we're gonna add that in. And I'm gonna add a little bit extra of that in there. All right. Ooh. Okay.
Question, Chef.
Question on the line.
So the spices and seasonings that you are using are the same ones that are in the taco seasoning packet?
Pretty close. Pretty close. The only difference is I don't have any preservative in there. I don't have any starch in there. And so this is really, when you consider natural, this is natural. All right. Sometimes if you start reading those packets, you'll see there's different things in there. There's some there's like sugars in there. There's starches in there. Things that they're not great, but they don't need to be there. And the reason they do it is one, I'm going to say flavor for them. And two is to hold it as long as they can. All right. So we're going to go ahead and let that cook, get stirred in well. Everybody hear it cooking?
Yes, Chef.
Yeah,
All right.
Orlando cooking.
Yeah, all right. How's it smelling, guys?
Great.
Awesome. Now we can do this with beef. You can do this with turkey. You can do this with chicken. We can also do this with tofu. Tempeh would actually work for that also. So there's a number of applications that we can do this with using the same seasonings. All right, just different protein. Oh yeah, smells good. All right, we're gonna let that cook down a little bit. We're gonna come back over here and I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna start our tortilla chips. So what I do here, I buy corn tortilla chips. If everybody can see those are the corn tortilla chips. I mean tortillas. not the flour, guys. This is corn, okay? Everybody can see it. And then you can use the white corn. I prefer not to use the white corn because white corn has some flour in it, more flour, I should say. And it's softer. It doesn't give that nice little crunch that you want for this application. Now, if I were going to make an enchilada or something like that, I do like the white corn tortilla for that because I don't like the heavy corn flavor that can take over an enchilada with the corn tortilla. So with the white corn tortilla, whatever you put inside the enchilada, you're going to taste it well. It's going to taste very, very good. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to cut these. So these are going to be for nachos. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut these into 6. So we have a bigger, as you can say, palette to put the artwork of the nacho on. Okay. So if I were doing this, which I will probably do some for a chip and dip, we will cut it into 8. Okay. So we're going to cut it in half. Then we're going to take each half and we're just going to cut into thirds. All right. Does everybody have their oil on? Is everybody caught up?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So this is what you want to see. Everybody see that? So it's gonna make a nice little canvas to put our artwork on, okay? So while that's going, I'm gonna go back over and give a quick stir. And as I'm coming over, I'm bringing my tomato paste with me to see, is it ready for the tomato paste? It may be, it may not be. So what I do is I'm gonna add the tomato paste when the meat has browned thoroughly. I don't necessarily want it cooked all the way. I just want it browned thoroughly. Yes, it's about ready. So now I'm gonna add a little bit of tomato paste. All right. Again, guys, everything is subjective. What you like. Hey, you might like a little more cumin in here. You might like a little more of the smoked, I'm sorry, the smoked paprika. You may like a little more of the garlic in here. That's entirely up to you. This is the great part about cooking. You have the option of doing what you like. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this tomato paste in. So whenever you use tomato paste, you're going to have to have some liquid. Okay. You can use a chicken base, beef base, whatever it may be. In this particular application, I'm going to just go ahead and add some water. All right. And because I need it to be a little bit loose and let that meat cook a little bit longer and let that flavor of the tomato paste blend in with everything else that's in there. All those seasonings are going to get better and better and better. And it's just going to become a melting pot of seasoning. When you taste that, your mouth is just going to explode in your mouth. There's going to be just a party in your mouth. Like, woo! So here we are at Cooking with Carrington. We're going to just do a nice little football festive party cooking. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to let that cook down, let that water cook down some. It's going to cook and it's going to evaporate. While that's happening, I got my tortilla chips. They're about ready over here. Everybody have their oil going?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that oil, if you got a temp, you can temp it 350 degrees, no more. All right. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our chips a few at a time. Okay. You don't want to add so much that they do not cook. So depending on your space and depending on what you're using to fry it, that determines how much chips you can put in at a time. Okay. So here we go. All right. We see that bubble. We know they're ready. That oil is nice and ready. If you don't get a bubble in that first one, it's not ready. Okay, guys? And that's not a crime. Just take a step back and give it a couple more minutes. Just let it get ready. And these are going to cook for probably about 2 or 3 minutes. All right. Get them nice and crisp. So this is a process.
Chef Carrington, for those of us who are doing the tortillas in a skillet, are
Yes.
we turning them over?
Yes.
After about a minute?
What you want to do is you just want to take a spoon and you want to move
Okay.
them around. You don't necessarily have to turn them, but you definitely
Gotcha.
want to move them. Okay.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So I'm gonna have to do the same thing. Just move them around a little bit. But they don't have to turn color. They're actually gonna get a little bit of color from the actual caramel. They're gonna caramelize a little bit, but you just want to get them crisp. That's the key. All right. I'll be honest with you guys. When I came down here, Texas, everywhere you went, they give you fresh tortillas and salsa, green and red. And we'll talk about salsa in a little bit. And it was like, I mean, you know what? I'm gonna fill up before I even eat with this stuff. But I'll tell you, this is definitely one of the greatest things that they have down here that I found here in Texas. All right. So when you move them around, I want you, my magnificent cameraman, can you get a little closer to this? I want them to hear that. All right, can you hear that? That means they're nice and crisp, and that's what we want. All right? And let that set for a second up top here. Just for a second. Thank you, sir. And I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna grab a bowl here. We're gonna drop these right in. And the good part is they don't absorb a lot of oil. So when they go in, you won't end up with a lot of oil or anything on the bottom of your pan there. Woo-hoo. Now, okay, I'm gonna do something with those that are not necessarily as healthy as people would like, but you know, we add a little bit of salt on them, gives it a little bit of flavor. You can add a little bit of lemon pepper. You can add whatever you want on those also. All right, so I'm gonna drop a couple more. I'm gonna stir. I'm not gonna forget about my my turkey meat. I'm gonna stir those up. Oh, and I should say with the oh yeah, that's top. I mean, you guys see how that the tomato paste acts as a thickener as well as gives flavor, guys. So you see what it did? It took that moisture, that water that was in there, and it thickened it up, thickened the meat up, and evaporated that moisture. And now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna turn it off and we're gonna set it to let it sit right there. All right. How does that look? Does that look good, guys?
Yes, chef.
All right. Okay, I got more
Yeah.
chips going. They're coming along. So now, while that's going, take my chips. A little bit of salt on there would be great. Okay. Well, let's go. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna make a little bit of guacamole. Now, I have cilantro, which was not on your recipe. Reason being, some areas you don't get good fresh cilantro, but cilantro is definitely an option. It is not necessarily in it. I happen to love cilantro. Again, one of those things I found when I came down here. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of salt, like I told you guys real quick. Woo-hoo! Oh yeah. All right. So that cilantro, we're gonna add in, we're gonna make our guacamole right now and get that going and set it to the side. I'm gonna let my chips get a little bit crispier. All right. We're gonna do our guacamole right in the bowl that we're gonna actually dip out of. So we're gonna take our avocado. Guys, see the avocado? All right. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of, make sure my knife has a little bit of an edge to it. All right. And even before I grab that avocado, I'm gonna grab these other chips out, drop the other one, and we're really ready to roll. Oh, yes, yes, yes. They look great. All right. So for the avocado, we're gonna take it, and you see the stem end here. You have your bottom. There's nothing along the bottom, but on the stem, when they come off, you're gonna cut. Take your knife. Be careful, guys. There's a big pit right in the middle of these, but be careful. But I want you to take your knife and go straight down till you hit the pit. Leave your knife in. Okay. Leave your knife in straight down till you hit the pit. You're gonna leave your knife in there. You're gonna take the knife and you're gonna go around the avocado. All right. Be careful. All right. Then we're gonna open it up. This is what you're gonna see. Something similar to this. Now your avocado should be soft but not mushy. I love avocados too. Now I'm gonna take this pit out. I'm gonna take the heel of my knife and I'm gonna hit it into that pit, and I'm just gonna pull that pit out just like that. Everybody see that? And I'm gonna drop the pit in the bowl that I'm gonna put the guacamole in. Now, the reason I do that is because when you put the pit into the guacamole, and if I were gonna store it overnight, the pit would be in the guacamole, and I would take a piece of plastic wrap and put it over it and press it down on top of the guacamole, and that keeps it, that helps it keep it from turning black and going bad real quick. So by the next day, if you take the plastic off, you still should have green guacamole. Okay, back on these. So we're doing a little bit of a lot of stuff at one time, but it's all gonna come together. Come together right now with me. All right. Yes, 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 yes. We're gonna use these. We're probably gonna use these for the dip also. For the chips and the dips. All right.
Question, Chef.
Question.
So there's really no need to put a paper towel under your tortilla chips?
Not necessarily, no. Now you'll see when we do the wings, we will have a paper towel underneath there. And the reason being because the wings are gonna go into well, it won't be breading, but like a dread, it's gonna go into flour. So once you bring it out, you're gonna definitely want to have some flour underneath it to absorb that oil that's gonna run off of them. Your chips are not really, like I said, when we started, when we're going into it, they're not gonna absorb a lot of oil. They're gonna be, that oil is staying on the outside and cooking. When you put that flour or breading or anything on your protein, whatever it may be, that flour, that oil is absorbing inside. Okay, so once you pull it out, you want to make sure you get it onto a paper towel to let that oil run back out, and this way you don't have a mess or an oil slick in your bowl. Okay, back to the avocado. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing with the other one. We're gonna do two. We're doing two. You guys can do one. You can do three. You can do whatever you want. So now this one, you'll see the avocados grow kind of weird on the stem. So this one is not directly on top, but it's to the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to remove that pit, that little stem part. Okay. I'm going to take that. I'm going to throw that right away. Now I'm going to go ahead. I'm still going to start at the top because I want to even, even as possible halves. So we're going to go right in, feel that pit. See, it's going to be a little bigger pit, I think, than the other one. And we're just going to go around and around and around. Then we're going to take that knife and I'm going to lay my knife down and I'm going to twist the avocado. There you go. See the size, the difference of that pit? I'll show you. Now I'm going to take that pit up the same way. We're going to go and hit it with the heel of my knife. I don't know if you guys can see that. The heel of my knife into the pit. Okay, see that? Then we're going to turn it, pull that pit out. So what I want to show you, see, two avocados, look at the difference in the pits. See the difference? All right, that happens. I don't know why, that's Mother Nature. So I'm going to take that pit off. I'm going to get rid of it. Okay, now with the avocado, what I'm going to do, and guys, I try to eat a half avocado at least 3-4 times a week. I love them with eggs. Man, a scrambled egg or over easy egg, over medium egg, and avocado on the side is just amazing. Not only that, it's one of the best foods for you. It's actually what they call a MUFA, M-U-F-A, monounsaturated fatty acid. So it's a good fat, it's an acid, and it actually works wonderful in your body. It gives you a lot of the nutrients that you need and quite a few of the minerals that you need. I know people go, that doesn't have any flavor. Not true. It just doesn't have a lot of flavor when you think about it, when you look into it. But when you get it and you mix it with the right items, like we're gonna mix with some garlic and some tomato here, a little bit of cilantro, a little bit of lime, and it gives a wonderful, wonderful flavor. And again, it's really good for you. In that MUFA category, you'll find things like olives and nuts and all of those are monounsaturated fatty acids. And guys, those are so good, especially for men. They are excellent for men as they age. All right, so now what I'm going to do, so much for that. Now we're moving right along. I'm going to go right in. I'm going to hold this avocado. Can you guys see it? Everybody can see the avocado? I'm going to take my knife. Be very careful, guys. You can do it with a smaller knife if you like, or you can actually just scoop the whole thing out. I like to just take my knife. I'm going to cut down into strips. All right. Just make sure you feel the skin at the bottom. Don't go through the skin. Feel the skin. Then I'm going to come across widthwise and make sure I feel the skin. I'm going to do the same. Okay. And I'm going to sit it down. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other three. Okay. Down. Lengthwise. And across widthwise. Now I'm going to show you something that I could have done just so you guys know how you can utilize it differently. So one thing I could have done, I could have just taken the entire avocado, the entire half rather, and just taken a spoon and gone around the edges, scrape that spoon so you feel the skin, and we come all the way around and we pull the whole avocado out, the whole half out. You see that? So this way we're not wasting any of the meat. I'm going to put it in the bowl. The other way, and when I used to have to make, I got we're making tons of avocado, tons of guacamole and using a lot of avocado, we would just take the avocado itself. I'm going to move this a little bit so you can really see it. We take the avocado itself, and I'm going to take both hands, and I'm going to just squeeze the skin. All right. And this is what you get. All right. So this is 3 different ways that you can go ahead and work with your avocados. Me, I like the idea of, I'm going to take this pit out right now. And we're going to put it back in. But I do like the idea of cutting it into strips or squares. And I'll tell you, because for me, when I'm making something, it's just part of presentation. Just looks so much better when it comes out. Look at that. Because you really can't take it out and try to dice it if it's nice and ripe, because it's a little too soft. All right. So it's kind of just dicing it right in the skin. All right. Take it out. Turn it right out. All right. So I know how many restaurants you guys been, and you go to Mexican restaurant, they come out, they want to make the guacamole at the table side, and they want to charge you a lot of money for it. And the reason being they charge you, and I agree, you know, it's for, you're paying for the show. All right. But you can do the same thing at home that they're doing. All right. So we're going to move right into this now. In the guacamole, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of garlic. I like to, on this in particular, I love to use fresh chopped garlic that I chop myself. I don't like to use the little bottles of garlic if I don't have to. I need to know, everybody caught up?
Question, Chef.
Question.
Approximately how much guacamole will those 2 avocados make?
Those 2 avocados will probably make, if I were to measure it out, it'd probably make about, with everything into it, probably about 3 to 4 cups of guacamole. All right. And if you guys, I don't know, you know, where you live, but if your supermarkets that are making guacamole and things like that, you see how expensive it is. But you can make it yourself, and you can still have other items that you can use them for other things. And it also tastes better when you make it yourself, and you can hold it up. All right. So any other questions at the moment? Okay. I'm going to wipe my knife. Okay. Now I'm going to take my head of garlic. the whole head. We're not gonna use the whole head, but I'm gonna place it down on my board. Can we all see it? Can we see the garlic on the board?
Yes, Chef.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna place one hand over the garlic with the core side down. Okay, you see that side? And I'm gonna take it, up, I'm sorry, that core side is gonna be up. I'm gonna take my hand, one hand over it, I'm gonna put the other hand on top of that hand, and I'm just gonna press. Do you hear that? Can you hear that?
Crackling, Chef.
Yes, what's going on is the cloves are separating for you. So you don't have to stand and peel the cloves out of the garlic. All right, and it doesn't ruin or bruise up the rest of the garlic, so I can use this garlic again for another application. All right, so now, again, here we go. This is super subjective to you, your taste profile. But let's think about this one. We've already put the avocado, which we know now is a mufa, which is very, very good for you. Oh, I'm sorry. As I take the clove, I'm gonna lay the clove down and I'm gonna put my knife over the clove. Now, make sure you use a thicker part of your knife to lay on that clove and the blade away from you. Not the blade, not turn the blade towards you, turn it away from you. You're gonna lay it right on top of that clove and you're gonna take your hand, put your fingers up in the air, please. You're gonna use the heel of your hand, just the heel, and I'm gonna pop it, okay? And you may have to pop it more than once, but you'll hear it separate. So once I pop it, look what happens. Look how easy the peels come off. You don't have to stand there and try to scrape it with your nail and everything else, okay? You can do it with a big clove, you can do it with a small clove, any size clove, and that's just a simple technique that I learned years and years ago from a little Chinese man that I used to work with. And he used to have to peel like 50 to 75 pounds of garlic. And I mean, it was a lot of work, but he would take it and he showed me how to do that. All right, same thing. I'm gonna have it sitting down. Doesn't care if it's how big it is or how small it is. We're just gonna pop it. You heard that? All right, so once we pop it, we can just we can peel it. Now I'll tell you what he used to do, which I don't do. Once he popped it, he would drop them all into a vat of hot water. And as soon as he dropped it in hot water, he would get a skimmer and pull it all out. And all the husks would all be in the hot water, and he would end up with a bunch of cloves that we could use, that we already use for the restaurant. So that's just a little tidbit there. So now we're going to add this garlic into this avocado, which is one of the best foods for you, right? We already discussed that, all right? Garlic is very good for you. Garlic is good for your heart. It's good for high blood pressure. I remember back in the days, you know, my aunties, they used to take garlic water, put it in the refrigerator, and they would drink garlic water. And that was to keep their pressure down and they knew how good garlic was for you. Now, if you go into health food stores today, they'll sell you garlic pills and things like that for high blood pressure or any kind of hypertension. So, you know what, our ancestors knew. So again, here they come. The ancestors just keep coming all the time whenever we're working with food. All right. So now what I'm going to do with the garlic, I already did it with that piece, and I'm just going to do it with this piece here. I'm going to take it and I'm going to cut straight down. Okay. And then I'm going to cut in. Just be careful when you come back with. So, because we're going to get a little mince on these. Then we're going to go ahead and mince it up.
Question, Chef.
Answer. Question on the line.
Is pre-minced garlic in a jar equal in flavor to fresh garlic chopped up?
No. And I'm going to say that emphatically. No. And the reason being that garlic is processed and it's also sitting in either water, which has a little bit of saline into it to keep it from turning, or oil. Now, the oil will have some flavor as long as it's a good oil, but with those liquids are doing it, they're pulling the flavor out of the garlic. So that's why when you saute with those garlic, and I made some spaghetti sauce the other day and I used a little bit of that. And when I'm sauteing the garlic, because when I make my tomato sauce, I do what an old Italian guy taught me a long time ago. I fry the garlic, and then we add the onions and everything else. But I could smell the difference in that jar garlic than in when I'm using fresh garlic. So yeah, and it didn't smell bad, but it didn't smell nice and fresh. It didn't give me that, when I make tomato sauce, which I don't do a lot, my wife normally makes it because she makes a great tomato sauce. I will tell her, I'll say it, but you guys don't tell her I said it. Actually, her tomato sauce is better than mine, and I've been executive chef at 3 Italian restaurants in Manhattan for Italian families. So, but her spaghetti sauce is better than mine. But,
How many cloves did you chop up, Chef?
I'm putting 3 cloves in there. There was one big one and 2 smaller ones. And if you notice, I leave them a little bit bigger, but when we mix it all up, they're gonna start to disintegrate. They're gonna infuse their flavor out, and you won't even bite on them in the actual mix. Okay, so moving right along. So next thing we're gonna put in Roma tomato. Why did I say Roma tomato? So Roma tomatoes this time of year are a great tomato for us here in the South because they're actually coming out of Mexico, which keeps them cheap. These are about 88 cents a pound. So it keeps them cheap because of the proximity that they have to travel is not that far. They also have a good flavor profile on Roma tomatoes. I love them. Now, being from the Northeast, I do love a great Jersey beefsteak tomato when it's in season. And the thing is, from May, maybe the end of April, but normally from May to the middle part of June, and that's it. After that or before that, your Jersey tomatoes, they don't have all that robust flavor that I'm looking for. So, but these Romas, they stay pretty consistent year round. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go ahead, 2 things. You can either take the tip of your knife, and I want you again to be careful. You can put it just lightly into the side of the stem end and twist it around, and you can pull that little piece of core out, okay? That's one way to do it, and that maximizes the use of the tomato. We get more yield out of it, and or you can do what people do, and I do it sometimes too. Just take my knife, and I could just cut the end of that core off, okay? But then what I do, I take my knife and I go around that core. I'm not gonna throw all that tomato away. Waste not, want not, baby.
I do too, Chef Carrington.
All right, now we see we're on the same page. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna dice these tomatoes up. Now, I'll be honest with you on this, you can make these as big as you want, as small as you want. I'm gonna do a couple different sizes in it because I do like when you bite into a tomato in the guacamole, sometimes the burst of flavor that comes out is pretty good. So I'm gonna actually cut these in a little bit I like the smaller ones because they help with the disseminating of the garlic and spreading it out. But the bigger ones, they actually give you really good flavor into that guac. Does everybody like guacamole? Anybody not like it? I know a friend of mine said she had an avocado tree in front of her house growing up, and she'd hate the avocado. She would just throw them away or wait till they rot. So I don't know if everybody likes avocados or not, but I tend to like them.
I'm like you, I can eat it by itself.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So actually, I'm only going to use 1 tomato in this because I'm looking at the amount again. Everything is subjective. All right. And I do want the avocado. I want the guacamole. I don't want it to be like a tomato relish with avocado in it. All right. So everything in. Swipe our board a little bit.
It's pretty.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. But we're not even there yet. All right, so now, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna put a little tiny bit of red onion. I'm not one that loves onion. If it's caramelized, I can do it okay, but I'm not one that just, people who love onions, not me. I know people can eat onion all by itself, not me. So what I do, you do need the flavor in there. And I use a red onion. And some people, some people like yellow onions, some people like the white onions. I like the red onions. Some places call the red onion the salad onion because some people think that the red onion is a little bit sweeter than a yellow onion. But to tell you the truth, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get the skin off. And I should have showed you the peel on that to make it easier. But some people, they believe that the red onion is, okay, I'm gonna go a little bit deeper on this onion. So I'm gonna cut a line across. Then I'm just gonna pull this top layer because it's a little deeper than I thought it was. Oh, there we go. All right. And we're gonna get rid of this. And they think that the red onion is sweeter, but the yellow onion has more sugar in it. That's why you can caramelize a yellow onion without adding any sugar to it. If you try to caramelize a red onion, you're gonna need to add some sort of sweetness to it to get it to caramelize. The caramelization is when it starts to brown, and that means the sugar is coming to the surface of the onion or whatever it is you're making. So now what I did is I cut that into 4 relatively not all equal. And I'm gonna go, what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna come down, not going all the way through. Okay, did we see that? Did everybody see that? Yes, no?
Yep.
So cut down.
Now you have to do the bowl.
I'm going all the way through. Okay, then we're gonna come back and I'm gonna come up about 3 to 4 times on the onion itself. Now I want these minced up because again, I don't want to bite into an onion in my guacamole. All right, but you need the flavor. So now we're gonna come down into a nice mince. So what we just did is we did a julienne cut, which we're turning into a mince. Okay. So that would be a technical term, a culinary term for cutting. It's one of the, these are a couple of the knife skills that we can learn. All right, so see how that onion looks? Just want to go through a little bit more to make sure it's all pretty much even and small for me. All right, anybody crying yet? All right. And we're gonna add that onion in. And that's quite a bit of onion, but it's gonna help. That flavor is gonna flow and we won't be chomping on it, hopefully. All right, now we got that in, right? So I move that over there. We save all of this. We don't throw anything away. We're gonna save it to use later. Not today, but another time, okay? Any questions so far? Everybody caught up?
So far, so good on Orlando.
All right, Orlando. Okay, guys, here we go. I'm gonna take a little bit of cilantro because I like cilantro. Now, if you like cilantro, add it. You know, if you have it, you know, if you don't, when you make, you know, it's okay. One thing I like about the cilantro plant is you get two food options with a cilantro plant if you have the plant. You have the leaf part, which is cilantro, and then the seed part, which is coriander. And I love coriander. I use coriander in a lot of different things. So, but one thing great about cilantro, and I'm going to show you, I have some dried parsley that we're going to use. But one thing that I love about cilantro and different than parsley is even if you're using it just for garnish or just for color, because that's what people do, when you're using parsley, you can only chop the flower part. The stems you have to throw away. With cilantro, you can use the entire plant. So you use the flower, the stems, and the seeds. All right. So I'm going to chop this all up because the stems have good flavor and they're not tough like a parsley stem. All right. We're going to mince this up good. Turn it on the board. I know you're going to place you here. I know you hear all of that sometimes, but what are they doing back there? Oh, they're just showing off because making a mess. All right. So, all right. So we're going to go in and we're going to put our cilantro in. All right. Everybody caught up?
Yep.
All right. So what we got next going in here? A little bit of pepper. A little bit of, we got our lime juice, right? A little bit of salt. And the great part about all of that is then we just mix it all up.
Chef Carrington, can I ask kind of the same thing my sister Des had asked about the lime juice as
Yes.
opposed to an actual lime, the juice from actual lime?
Exactly what we're doing. We're gonna use, why, you mean, why do you use a lime juice? Can you use like a bottled lime juice?
Right, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, you can, but again, so there's a thing, and actually I just had a conversation with a person last night about this. It's called farm to fork. So anything that you can use that's not been processed is always going to be better. It's always going to be better than the processed product. So with that lime juice, they'll say 100% lime juice, because when the USDA grades it 100%, as we think of, means that's total. No, there's a percentage that has to be in there for it to be considered 100%. Now that doesn't make sense, but that's our USDA. That's how they grade. Okay, so
Okay, gotcha.
so anytime you can use something fresh, especially if it's in season, use the fresh product. Anytime.
Gotcha.
Anytime.
Gotcha.
And that's with anything. Okay.
Gotcha.
Now I'm going to go ahead. Yes. I'm gonna wipe my knife again. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to put a little edge on that so it's getting a little bit soft on there. All right. And Toki's ready. Fryer's doing good. Here we go. I'm just going to cut it in half. I think. Whoa. My knife is going. I'm gonna have to take this and take it to the knife sharpener this time. So I'm gonna squeeze this right out. So with the lime, it's not like the lemon, so you don't have to worry about seeds coming out of it. So we're just gonna add this lime right on top. Does this look like what they make in the restaurant for you? When you get it at the side and they charge you $20 for it or $25 for it, and you go, oh, it's good, but golly, $25 because I had the dishwasher come out and mix it up for me. I think sometimes I'd rather do it myself. I'm gonna walk over here, I'm gonna grab my pepper and I have some salt over here. Again, subjective flavor. All right. Is everybody with me?
With you.
All
Chef,
right.
that's a quick question. For the frying of the wings, am I supposed to have some grease heating up right now or no?
You can give a couple minutes. You bought whole wings, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can give it a couple minutes because then we're gonna start the whole wings. I'm gonna show you, we're gonna cut them actually. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna show you how to save a little bit money on wings and drumettes and things like that. All right. So we're gonna add a little bit of black pepper, not too much black pepper, just a little bit.
If I can make a suggestion on that, Chef,
Please.
I like to put a little jalapeno pepper in my part.
Yes, people do put jalapeno in also. That's correct. That's what I said, subjective. You can put whatever you like in the guac, but I know the people that I have here don't like things too spicy, so that's why I didn't add the jalapeno. But yes, you definitely on the right track. Just a little bit of jalapeno goes a long way. So I'm gonna put this back over here. All right, so now we're gonna take our spoon or fork, whichever you like, and we're just gonna go through this and we're gonna start just blending it all together. So the idea here is, notice I didn't say mix it together, right? I said we're gonna blend it, okay? So we're gonna fold it. And as we're doing it, we're gonna be pressing down. Start all those flavors flowing in there. You should feel it getting looser as you're doing it. Try to keep everything in the bowl. And anything that falls out, that's why I'm on the cutting board. I'll put it back in. All right. So how's it look so far now? That look like guacamole?
Yummy, yummy.
So now another thing that you can do, if you don't have jalapeno and you want it a little spicy, which I won't do today, you can add a little bit of cayenne pepper to it, if you like. All right. But you're right, jalapeno pepper is definitely the way to go. And a fresh jalapeno is wonderful. It's even, if you roast the jalapeno, it's also good. Speaking of that, I want to talk to you guys about salsa. So on the recipe, on this equipment list, I told you guys buy salsa. And the reason I did that, because I want this to be easy and as quick as possible for you guys to get these things when you want to make them for whoever, yourself, your husband, your boyfriend, whoever you want to do. You got a party coming. You want to make sure, you want it quick. You want to enjoy your guests. All right. So that's all mixed. But you can make fresh salsa. I mean, fresh salsa is amazing. Notice when I tell you about the pit, right? We're gonna stick that right in there. Bloop. Fresh salsa is amazing, and it's so easy to make. A lot of people don't realize. So to make a fresh salsa, I'm gonna tell you real quick. You want to use 3 parts of a 3 parts onion, 1 part. I'm sorry, 3 parts tomato, 1 part onion, and if you want, and some jalapeno. And all you want to do is coat them the whole thing, or cut your onion in quarters. But then you want to coat it with a little bit of oil. Pop them in your oven at 425 degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. The skin on the tomato will pull back some. The skin on the jalapeno will look a little scorched, and that's great. You take it out and you just put it in your food blender. You put a blender. You can put it into a Cuisinart. You can put it into a food processor and just grind it up. Add a little bit of salt and pepper, a little bit of cilantro, and a little bit of lime juice, and that's salsa, guys. That's it. That is salsa. Question.
So you have to cook the vegetables first?
Roast them, yes.
Roast?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because you want to get all the flavor out, pull out all the flavor out of it, and actually that's where you get. If you take raw onion and raw tomatoes, now what that is, your raw onion, your raw tomato, the same items, but that is just your pico de gallo. See, you won't cook your pico, and you don't have to grind it up. You can leave it chunky, but you definitely, for your salsa, you want to roast those veggies. You want to pull that flavor up. You want to get, so if you really want to do it, you do it over a char grill. Does that make sense? You pick up a lot of different flavor profiles.
And no added liquid?
No, you don't need liquid. When you grind it up, the liquid's going to come out of the tomato, and that's what's going to make, if you add any liquid to it, it's just going to be a watered down product. So yeah, you don't want to add any liquid at all. It's because when you grind it up, the liquid's going to come out of your tomato.
Thanks, Chef.
You're so welcome. All right, guys. I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to take one of my tortilla chips, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to put it in my guacamole. And I'm going to give my outstanding cameraman a taste. Everybody else can wait over here. Let's see what we got. That guacamole? Oh, baby. That's guacamole. That is guacamole. Huh. Mm-hmm. And it's good for you. Guys, it is so good for you. It's good for your heart. It's good for your blood pressure. It's good for the minerals restored into your body. Mm. Nobody touch it. All right, so moving right along. So we have our nachos ready. We have our chips ready for nacho. We have our guacamole ready. Now we're gonna go ahead and get our wings going, right? Are we, is everybody caught up? Everybody ready to roll? Where are we at?
Having a drink on this side, so we ready.
All right, what are we drinking today?
A watermelon margarita.
Oh, did you send us, Winnie? All right, here we go. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and actually, I'll use this board. We'll use the other one. We'll just get rid of this afterward. So you're gonna cut chicken. All right, guys. So I'm gonna cut my chicken. So I put my flour, guys. You know, I love to use plastic bags, right? You know, I love to use plastic baggies. They save a lot of time to clean up in the kitchen. And they're so easy to utilize. So I put my flour into a plastic bag already. So it's gonna be ready to go ahead and fry my chicken in. I use flour on my wings. A lot of places, you know, when you go in these places and they're doing wings, they don't flour them. I understand why. One, they can keep their oil a lot longer. It won't break down as fast. Two, the cost, it's just another added cost to their product. I mean, it's not a great cost to the product, but that's the reason why. Me, I add flour. I use mine. I dredge mine because I love the way that when you get them nice and crisp and fried, whatever sauce you're putting on them is going to hold to that breading. Man, if you bite into it, you should have a crispy bite, and then it should be nice and moist and all that flavor from whatever sauce you're putting on. So as a matter of fact, before we even do the chicken, let's go ahead and start doing the sauces, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I have some butter that I'm going to melt. I do have some butter that I'm going to melt in the microwave. A lot of this is gonna be done in the microwave. I see it there. And so we're gonna go ahead and get this butter. So what I did on your recipe for your sauces, it calls for 2 sticks of butter, 1 for the garlic parmesan, 1 for the lemon pepper, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna melt them both together, and then we're gonna separate it and make the mix for it. What I did also for your honey barbecue, I'm using my barbecue sauce that we make. It's a Big Daddy's barbecue sauce. You know, we make our Big Daddy sneak up sauce, so we're gonna use those on some of the wings, and we also make a Big Daddy's barbecue sauce. All right, so we're gonna use that. But what I did along with that, with the Big Daddy's barbecue sauce, I took it and I added a little bit of Thai chili to it, add a little bit of brown sugar, some teriyaki, a little bit of more mustard, ketchup, and then you go ahead and mix that all up, and then you get this kind of Thai chili spicy barbecue sauce. Again, you can make it as hot as you want. You can add cayenne pepper to it. You can add ghost peppers to it. You can make it as hot as you want, but that's what I did. I already made that. So if you guys want to go ahead and I'll walk you through the actual barbecue sauce, and we'll go from there. Okay. So any other questions here? So this is our barbecue sauce. I'm going to go ahead and melt this butter right now. And into the microwave it goes, guys. All right. So let's go ahead and start it with about 30 seconds. And start at 30 seconds. And we're going to go ahead and get that going. All right. Like I said, I'm going to give you a little infomercial here. So this is our barbecue sauce. We sell barbecue sauce. We make them. This is a very good barbecue sauce. It holds. It's kind of thick. Got a lot of flavor to it. I have a couple clubs and restaurants that use it here. What they do is they add a little bit of water to it because they say it's so thick that they like to add a little water to loosen it up because they get a little more yield out of it. And also it gets their customers drippy and things like that. This is our Big Daddy sneak up sauce. This is the sauce. This is, I mean, if y'all can see, can y'all see closely? Can you see it? Everybody can see it?
Yes.
See the label?
Yep.
See, you see, this sauce is so good that Denzel Washington let us use his face there. Y'all see Denzel? Just kidding, just kidding.
Do you ship that sauce out, Chef?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Des,
If
you know what to do, right, my sister?
If you need some information, you can just go ahead to Cooking with Carrington and put it out there, and we'll get it to you.
Oh, my sister's got me. Thank you, Des. Appreciate you. Love you.
You got it. All right, so here we go. So this is sauce I was just telling you about. We took our Big Daddy's barbecue sauce and we added some different things to it. So I created a recipe for you guys that you can use starting with a small base and then going from there. And what it is you're going to use 2 cups of ketchup, a half a teaspoon of mustard. You're going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of teriyaki sauce. You can use soy or teriyaki. I like teriyaki. The reason I like teriyaki because it is brewed and it's not salt cured. Soy is made with salt and it's going to be very salty. So I don't like to use soy for almost anything other than fried rice that I put on the top of it. Okay. And then you're going to add a little bit of a Thai chili. All right. This is the label for the Thai chili. Okay. And you can add as much as you want. This is going to make it spicy and a little bit of honey. Okay. So that's what we made. And I'm just gonna straighten this one up a little bit more, add a little more barbecue sauce to it. And then so we have a little bit more for the wings, and we're gonna use some straight barbecue sauce. Okay, so now with that being said, we're gonna move on All right, sounds like the butter might be ready. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right, so actually what we'll do. So the great part about these sauces, they're so simple to make, guys. I know they charge a lot for them in these restaurants and things like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put, I want this, I don't need it, I don't want it fully melted so that it becomes straight liquid, but I do want it, I don't want solids in there either. So what we'll do is make sure it goes down. There we go. All
Chef
right.
Carrington, we're making the honey barbecue sauce now?
No, right now I'm gonna make the garlic parmesan
Oh, okay,
and the lemon pepper.
okay, gotcha.
All right. So this is the butter melted. So what I did was I just melted the butter for both of those two. Okay. Can we see that? Notice how creamy the butter is. It's not like oil liquid. Okay. That's important so that we don't have to melt it all the way down so it starts to be runny. All right. Any questions? So I'm going to take half of this out. And again, subjective, you know, half, my half and your half might be different. That's about half. All right. And you can make, if you make these recipes, you can double and triple them just simply, again, by going by the template that I set up for you, adding more or adding less. But if say you want to make, you know, enough for 8, 9, you're just going to double the recipe. If you want more than that, you can triple it. Everything is just, it's just so simple to work with. And again, it's your flavor profile. It's strictly on you. Okay. So here we go with the lemon pepper. So we call for 1 tablespoon of lemon pepper in this, right? But I found out today that lemon pepper is one of my guys here favorite wing. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add a tablespoon. And just a little bit more. This is gonna be the Jake edition. All right. All right.
Chef,
Yes, ma'am.
so making that lemon pepper sauce ahead of time before I cook my chicken,
Mhm.
will this butter solidify because it's sat out?
It'll probably get a little bit solid, but that's good. Here's the great part about when you're making these sauces and you cooking wings, you always want to put that sauce on the wing as soon as it comes out. Now I know we said we're gonna set them in flour and things like that, but I'll be honest with you, a lot of times we just take them straight from the fryer into a bowl, sauce them, and that heat is gonna hold them. Okay, so there we go. Ooh. So now I know a lot of places they're trying to make this stuff and they're putting, you know, all kind of milk and cream and things like that, trying to put thickeners and roux. You don't really need that. If you use a good butter and you give it a chance, you don't let it melt all the way down to you get, we get almost that clear yellow look. You want to melt it down where it's nice and cloudy, so it still has a lot of the fats, and that's what it is, guys. A lot of the fats in it, and they haven't dissolved, evaporated out. Okay. So now what we're going to do, rinse this off, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to make the garlic parmesan. So with the garlic parmesan, there's a couple things. I like to use a granulated garlic and then a little bit of fresh chopped garlic also. All right. Guys, we're going to get moving here because time is kicking. All right, so I'm gonna use a tablespoon of garlic in here. All right. And then I'm gonna set that down. Then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna remember those extra cloves that I had that I told you we were gonna use later on. Well, I'm gonna use a couple of those right now in here. I'm trying not to, I don't want my board to get too cluttered here, so I'm gonna sit that over there. But I want you guys to see it all. All right. We're gonna move a little quicker. We are there, but we're doing pretty good because once we get some wings going, we're gonna go ahead and assemble the nachos. And then the guacamole is ready. And guys, we're ready for some football. Anybody ready for some football? Uh-oh. What's your favorite teams out there?
49ers in the house in Orlando.
The who? 49ers?
That's right. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
boy. Jimmy G. He keeps coming back alive. Many times they try to kill him, he just keeps coming back.
Like the Energizer Bunny.
Yep, I say like Jason. That's all right. But there's no team like the Giants. So again, I'm just gonna mince this up really fine, just so it gives a little bit of kick. And if I wanted to, I could actually saute it a little bit and caramelize it and put it in there. Then you have like a little piece of garlic candy in there. Did you guys know that garlic has a lot of sugar in it? Also, natural sugar. That's why it browns so fast when you cook it. There's also people make garlic candy because of the amount of sugars in garlic. All right. Any questions? Ooh, yeah. Then we're going to add Parmesan. I'm sorry. I forgot. When I hear things like Parmesan and spaghetti and things like that, it just takes me to Italy. Oh, yeah.
Chef, how much Parmesan did we just?
I just put 3 tablespoons in there. Again, guys, heaping. Like I told you, this is all subjective. It is all based on what you like. Oh, yes. I'm going to grab that. Tasty. All right, so I'm going to taste these. I may need some more Parmesan in here. I happen to like Parmesan. Mhm. Okay, guys. So in here, we are actually going to add a little more garlic. All right. It's Parmesan, definitely. But you guys want to taste the garlic, right? Now that fresh garlic is going to come through too as it sets. I'm going to add a little more garlic, just about a half a tablespoon. All right. Just to pick that flavor up a little bit more. Ooh, good stuff. All right. Are we ready? All right, so I'm gonna set this over to the side also. Now, the honey, let's talk about this honey barbecue. Since I have some of the, I made it, but I'm using the, actually, I'll make a little bit of honey barbecue because I have people here that are not going to, on the honey barbecue, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our ketchup, which I have. There we go. Ketchup and mustard. All right. Okay. Again, everything is subjective. This is the great part about this. There we go. Got it open. Sometimes it's a little hard to get it open, but we got it open. You know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to go ahead and drop some wings so that we can get ahead a little bit, and then we'll make the honey barbecue, okay? How's that sound? You guys got your oil ready? The oil should be ready from the nachos. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back and we'll make that honey barbecue while they're cooking. So we're going to cut the chicken, and we're going to use this board, and we'll switch out boards afterward.
No, that's on this.
I'm sorry? Okay. All right. A baggie. So one thing you're gonna say, Chef, are we gonna wash the chicken? Answer is no. The reason being, we're not gonna contaminate the entire kitchen, because that's all you do when you wash your chicken, is you contaminate everything around it. So the idea is it's going to cook to at least 165 degrees internally, and that is enough to kill salmonella. And that is the entire purpose, okay? So when you have your chicken wing, the whole wing, you lay it out. If you look closely, because I already started, I'm going to just go back. You look closely down to the bottom, you spread it, you'll see the joint. And all you do is just go right into that joint with your knife. You see how crisp it cuts, how clean it cuts? Can we see that? All right. Now, we're not even going to season our chicken. And a lot of people do, and a lot of places don't. Same thing. I'm just going to cut the tip off to show you. You can do the same thing. So you can make your own wingettes. You can save your tips if you like to make chicken stock, and I can tell you how to do that. And that chicken stock will be used to for anything that you cook. All right. But what I'm going to do for today, I'm going to leave the second and third joint on the chicken. So this is the first joint, second and third. Okay. So yes,
Question.
yes.
I just heard you say we're not seasoning the chicken.
No.
Why?
Because all of our, and we're not even seasoning the flour, but all of our sauces have great seasoning on them. Okay. I find a lot of places will season the chicken and then they fry it and they season the flour and they fry it and then they put the sauce on it and you end up with a mouthful of salt. All right. That's just my opinion. All right.
Question, Chef,
Answer.
you purchased whole wings
Yes.
versus wing portions.
Exactly. Why? Because your wing portions probably cost you $4.25 a pound, right? Maybe $3.99. Okay. My whole wings cost me $2.99 a pound. So therefore, again, if you follow, have you been following our blog? Understanding pounds and understanding costs. So every time you, especially in the meat department, anytime they put a knife, the butcher puts a knife to a piece of meat, the price goes up every single time. So why do I want to pay the butcher to when I can take it and do it myself? And like I said, I can take these tips. And I like to eat the tips myself, but I can take these tips off, put them in a baggie, and freeze them. And once I do that, then when I get ready, I say I'm going to make some etouffee, or I'm going to make even gumbo or something like that, or soup. I just take those tips out and I get them into a pot with some carrots, what we call a mirepoix, carrots, onions, and celery, and a little bit of what we call aromatics, which is bay leaf, a little bit of thyme, and parsley. And I let it come to a boil. And once it comes to a hard boil, I break it down into a fast simmer and it rolls and let that reduce down. Usually takes about 2 hours or so. And then I have what you call chicken stock. And you can use chicken stock for everything from rice to soup to anything you need a liquid in, you can actually replace it with that stock. And it's going to give it great flavor. All right. Any more questions? I'm getting ready to go over to the fryer. Everybody ready? You got your flour out. No seasoning in your flour either this time, guys.
Yep.
All right, here we go. All right, we got our fryer going. I got my flour right here ready to go. Now, do not overfill your fryer, guys, okay? All right, so what I'm gonna do, we're gonna fry this in batches. It's gonna take about 12 to 15 minutes to cook. We want to get it nice and crispy at 350 degrees. I'm gonna try to use one hand for flour and one hand, what I call one hand wet and one hand dry. I'm going right into the oil, even though I have a basket. I am not going to put them in the basket and drop it. I'm going into the oil. There we go. You hear it? Sound good, don't it?
Yes, chef.
There's nothing like fried chicken. And even though we are putting any seasoning in, I know people go, oh, you season the chicken. That's all right. You'll see.
Chef, question.
Answer.
How many pieces of chicken can you get in that basket?
In this basket, I'll probably get 8 pieces. In this one, and I'm gonna cover it up. So it's gonna be almost like a deep steam fry. Like the henny penny fry. I don't know if you guys ever heard of henny penny, but that's what the henny penny fry does. I'm gonna shake it a little bit so they don't stick. We're gonna go ahead and put the top on it. Bang, bang. Come on, get this top on. There we go. And I'm gonna set my timer. Always just set your timer. Don't rely on our brains because you know we getting older. I don't know about y'all, but I'm old. I'm gonna set it for 15. Bam. All right, we're gonna get moving, right? I'm gonna go ahead and move this cutting board because it had chicken on it. So I don't have contaminated the whole kitchen, only the cutting board, right?
Yes, yes.
All right, we're gonna wash our hands. All right, what's the next step we gotta do? We're gonna make that sauce, right? I'm gonna bring my cutting board over. I always like to work on the cutting board, guys. Always like to work on the cutting board. Okay, so honey barbecue. Again, subjective. Don't remember that. That is really important here to remember that everything that we do today is subjective to your flavor, your taste profile. I just had, Monique, you mentioned, hey, jalapeno in the guacamole. I'm with you. A lot of people don't like the spice, so I didn't put it in there. Now I make it at home. I'm putting that guacamole in there. I mean that avocado in my guacamole. I mean that jalapeno in my guacamole. All right. So here we go. On this the honey barbecue, it's basically 2 cups of ketchup. Right now, it may be a lot, but which is good because you can refrigerate this and hold on to it. And you got barbecue sauce. It's not Big Daddy's barbecue sauce, but it's good. All right. I'm gonna add my ketchup in here. Notice I'm not measuring. So we're gonna add a little mustard. Here's the thing. You don't need a lot of mustard, guys, so be careful, okay? And we're using yellow mustard, not brown mustard. Look at the ratio. Look at the ratio of the mustard to the ketchup, okay? You don't need a lot.
Question, Chef,
Yes.
what's the difference between yellow mustard and brown mustard?
So the brown mustard is more what you consider a deli mustard. The brown mustard, and again, it's really based on the region of the country you're from, United States, because here in the South, they use yellow mustard for a lot of things. On the Northeast, we use a brown mustard, but you go up into Chicago, they use a brown mustard, but it's a little bit different. So the brown mustard has spices and seasonings in it. It's gonna be a little bit darker in color, and it actually it has flavor for depending on what you're making. So if you want to make a great pastrami sandwich, you want to use brown mustard, not yellow mustard. All right. So I'm gonna add my little bit of teriyaki. That's what I'm gonna add. Okay. Everybody see that? All right. Now we're gonna add a little bit of brown sugar. Brown sugar, baby. All right. Anybody have any questions? So everybody caught up. I know time is running down, but we're gonna get there. I'm gonna add that brown sugar. Subjective, guys. If you like sugar, you like the sweeter barbecue, add more sugar. If you like a more tangy barbecue, add less sugar. All right. Then we're gonna add our little bit of honey. There we go. Okay, it's open. And all we do is mix. That's it, right? Everybody with me? All right. We're just gonna mix it up good. Ooh. So again, I took the base of the Big Daddy Sneak Up with this one, and I added chili paste to it, a little bit of sesame to it, and we're gonna add a little sesame seeds when we fry the chicken for it, okay? That's that. All right. Chicken's frying. While the chicken is frying, guys, I'm gonna move all of this over to this side. We're gonna start this way. We're gonna get the nachos going. We're gonna need these sauces in a minute. All for them. All right. Okay. So your nachos, guys, this is the fun part here. So we're gonna lay these nachos out. Everybody like nachos? I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not like nachos. Oh man, so my wife started making them for me. And I was like, she said, you want to eat nachos tonight for dinner? I'm like, what? Oh, no nachos? That's kids and food. And she said, okay. And she made herself some. And I was sitting there eating my meal. I don't know what it was, but I reached over and grabbed one of her nachos. She said, I thought you didn't want no nachos. And I was like, oh, baby, those are pretty good. She's like, uh-huh. My daughters used to eat nachos all the time when they were in college. They used to tell me, Dad, I'm making nachos. Why are you eating like that? That's horrible. Daddy, it's good. I'm like, no, it's not. But they were right and I was wrong. All right, so we got our nachos going, right? We got them laid out. Here's the great part about nachos. You can do it individually for one, or you can do a bunch of them, you know, the way we're going to do it here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take them and we're going to just add the toppings pretty much to them. All right. And on the toppings, we're going to get we got our ground turkey going already, right? So I'm going to come on over to my ground turkey. Oh, can we hear that chicken frying? I mean, yeah, can we hear that chicken frying?
Orlando frying.
I'm sorry?
That's Orlando frying.
Orlando's frying, all right. So I'm gonna sprinkle this ground turkey over here. Now again, you can do this with chicken, you can do this with chicken, you can do it with any ground meat, pork, lamb, anything. You know, maybe adjust the seasoning a little bit if you're gonna use a little lamb, but you can do it with tofu, another protein, tempeh. You can do it whatever you like. All right. Notice I just put it on there. It doesn't have to. Now, back in the day, we used to make them individual in the restaurant. I didn't like it, but you have to do it for individual one. That's just so people, oh, look at that. That's good. No, this is good. Put that on there. Now, I'm going to use some canned beans, and I'm going to tell you, I left the beans in the can because I want you guys to know it's okay to use canned beans. This is a quick thing. This is not an all-day process in the kitchen of cooking beans, okay? And you know, the funny thing is you can do just a bean nacho too with different beans. You can use like black beans or red bean, kidney bean, and a chickpea, garbanzo, and do the same thing, and it's gonna be really good. Maybe add a little bit of hummus onto it. Yeah, there's things that we can do. So we put our beans on there, all right? We got our black beans. We're gonna put a little bit of our salsa right on there. All right. Chicken's frying, sounding good, guys?
Yes, it does. Chef, on the black beans, you said you did warm them up from the can?
No. I just took them right out of the can. I don't warm them up because we're gonna put this all in the microwave.
Okay.
All right. So I took some, I just got you some store-bought salsa, guys. Again, it's great to make your own, but again, I wanted to show you how to do this as a fast, quick solution that'll make a nice little meal. You could even do this in layers if you like, with a layer of the tortilla on the bottom and put everything on top, and then another layer of tortillas, everything on top, and then put that into the microwave or bake it off. And that's a nice little addition too, very similar to something we call King Ranch chicken. All right. Chicken sounds like it's cooking pretty good. All right. So we got our black beans, we got our salsa, we got everything but our cheese. So now the cheese I got, we use a Mexican blended cheese. So Mexican blended cheese is going to be cheddar with a little bit of Monterey or Kobe with a little bit of Monterey Jack cheese. You can actually get it with pepper jack, which has a little bit of diced red and green peppers into it. It's a little bit spicy. You could also add some jalapeno onto here if you like. Gooey, 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 gooey. How's that look, guys?
Good.
That looks good. So we're gonna put that in the microwave in a bit. We got to make a little more chips. Mhm. All right.
Chef, after the black beans, never try to miss a step. You added the cheese.
I added the
Oh,
salsa.
salsa, then the
And the cheese. It doesn't matter what order you put it in. I just like to make sure, you know, I look at the tortilla as a canvas and I want to build it up like as artists. So, and I want to make sure we get that protein down there first so that when you bite into it, you get the taste of that good protein, the cheese on top and everything else in between. Okay, I'm sorry I'm eating the chip. All right, guys, here we go. Couple minutes left on the chicken, the first batch. Okay, we're gonna be ready to rock and roll. Barbecue. You know, let's take a look at the chicken, see what we got. All right. Turn one piece over. Oh, yeah. Gonna get the natural flavor of that chicken. We're gonna get flavor of the sauces onto the chicken. I think you'll see a big difference. And I mean, if you want to season your chicken, that's entirely up to you. I mean, that's, you know, again, subjective. Everything is subjective. What we're doing today. This is designed to make life easier and fast for you guys. You have a little party, you have some friends over, or you just want something real quick to sit down and I say watch a game because it's football season, but you can do this just for you want to watch a movie, you know, you want to watch a rom-com or something, you know, date night, Saturday afternoon. Yeah, you can do that.
Wind down Wednesday.
Oh, wind down Wednesday. There you go. See? And you can make these as big or as small as you want. They don't have to be, they don't have to be gigantic. They don't have to be huge like this. You can make it a small little platter. I could even make this bigger if I could fit it into the microwave. But, you know, again, this is one of those things that you just, it's all subjective, guys. Ooh, the chicken sounds like it's winding down.
Darren, did you add cilantro or parsley at the top of your nachos?
I didn't add any green on top of there at all.
Oh, it looks like green. Okay.
No green on there. You can, if you like, and if it was going to add green to it, I would add a little bit of cilantro. One thing that I didn't do is I need to add a little bit of green into my, and that's parsley, into the garlic parmesan chicken. That's one thing I did not do. All right, so moving right along. So now what I'm going to do, and again, safety protocol, we have my thermometer, and we want to make sure our chicken is safe. I mean, I know it should be, but you know, it's always better be safe than sorry. Your chicken wants to register at 165 degrees minimally. All right, and up there, where we at? Where we at? Coming around, we're coming around. There it is, there it is. Can we see that, cameraman? Our temperature is what, 180? Yeah, so we are good. All right, so we're gonna take these out. Now, normally, like I said, I would dump these straight into a bowl and start seasoning them, but because we're gonna make the different seasonings, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna dump it onto paper towel. I'm gonna drop some more so they start cooking. Then we're gonna separate a few of those and get them seasoned. We're gonna go ahead and get the nachos in the microwave. We got our guacamole ready. We are starting to wind down, guys. We are getting there, and it's feeling mighty, 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 mighty good. Like the Giants are gonna win the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, I got a little carried away with that part. Yes, I did. I'm so sorry. San Francisco might win the Super Bowl, though. We got another little batch to
Yeah,
go.
eating.
All right, we're gonna shake it up. Make sure everything's coated. Cover it back up. Then we're gonna set our timer. Oh, come on. Okay. All right. So, chicken's hot. Let's rock and roll. There it is. All right. Now what I'm doing, I've added the garlic. It's just a few of the wings here. But I added that garlic right in there as a paste. And hopefully these wings are hot enough that we're gonna get them totally coated. And they should start to melt down a little bit. And it looks actually like we might be getting that to happen. Normally, like I said, I would just drop them right into the bowl while they're hot and put that sauce right on top of them, and they're good to go.
Chef, we got you back and have a timer going.
All right. Thank you. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah. So.
Question, Chef,
Yes.
so we can go on ahead and sauce up our first batch of wings?
Yes, please do. That's what I'm doing right now. That is exactly what I'm doing right now.
I didn't hear the question.
Question was, can you go ahead and sauce up your wings? Please do. I'm also gonna put my nachos in the microwave also.
Question, Chef, did we put the egg and the lemon pepper yet? Because if so, I missed that step.
Egg?
Didn't it say egg and the lemon
Yeah.
pepper? Lemon
Yeah.
pepper seasoning?
Oh, no, there shouldn't be any egg in there. I'm so sorry. That's
It says lemon pepper sauce, butter,
Yeah.
lemon pepper, and egg beaten. No egg.
no egg, no egg.
Oh,
So
okay. Well, I'm glad I asked that question because I
I'm
was about
glad you
to
did
ask that
too.
egg.
Where did I see that? Did you say that on there? I didn't see that. Okay,
Okay. Put the
I'm
egg
glad
in.
you caught it. Thank you. Yeah, no egg. Ooh.
What happens if you put the egg?
Well, you're gonna have to put in the egg. You're gonna have to definitely put the sauce in the microwave with the egg in it so that the egg can cook inside. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Auntie.
It says one egg on there. We'll double check on that to make sure. But yeah, no egg, please. He said no egg.
No egg, yeah, but I already put it in.
Oh. go ahead and put these in for about 30 seconds to start. I apologize about that egg there. Did everybody put egg in?
Orlando did.
Okay, did you put it in the microwave? And as soon as it comes out, make sure you whisk it together real good, okay?
Okay, will do.
All right. You won't get sick though.
Oh,
Don't
no,
worry. All right.
not to worry.
I'm gonna make I'm gonna drop some tenders here.
What's in here?
Guys, let's go ahead and put these in for about 1 minute and 30 seconds on your nachos. That should do. If not, we can always add it more. Chicken's going. Everything is rocking and rolling. I'm gonna add some tenders down. On these tenders, I'm gonna add a little bit of seasoning. Oh, actually, no, we're gonna go straight down with the tenders also. Yeah. Okay.
Question, Chef.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't see on the ingredient list the chicken tenders.
They're not on there.
Oh,
We just happen to have some. And I'm gonna go ahead and put those down because I have somebody here who doesn't eat wings, bone-in wings. So
that's sacrilegious.
I agree with you, but you know, we gotta please
To
everybody.
each its own.
So we gotta please everybody. We don't want anybody here to go home hungry. All right, how are we looking, guys? All right, let's start seeing some people. Let's see some things. We got any wing sauce. We got guacamole ready. We have nachos ready. Can we see it? Can we see it? Can we see it? Turn your cameras around and put it up. I don't want to call out names. Anybody showing anything?
They're busy cooking, Chef.
All right, well, they're busy cooking.
They're busy cooking with Carrington.
There you go. All righty. We got our nachos out now. Anybody see them?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
How do that look?
That looks delicious, Chef.
That looks
Oh.
good.
I took mine to my husband already. Let me go show you.
There you go. Keep them happy.
I forgot I was supposed to show it.
Chef Carrington want to see my nachos. Here are my nachos, Chef.
Let's see the nachos. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
There you go.
How do they taste?
He said high taste.
That's good.
He said
All right.
good.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. Thank you. All right. How about some wings? We got some wing sauce. All right.
Pepper now.
Wings will be coming up. Dropping nachos. We've got we're gonna start getting everything plated. So let's get some looks on things. Glad to see those. We have any questions, guys? Any questions about anything?
I'm just mixing up right now. with
All
different-
right,
Everybody waiting on the wings. So.
all right,
I got 2 wings right here.
okay.
Can you
Ooh,
see 'em?
yes, I see them and they look good.
I'm
Tell me
getting
how
ready to
they
put
taste.
nachos on top.
All right, tell me how they taste.
Let me
Oh,
do
well,
my- Another bag.
How's that guacamole?
My guac almost gone.
Okay, that's a good thing. That is a good thing. All right, I like that.
Can you see my entire plate now?
Yes, we'd love
I've
to
got
see it all.
guac on the side. Hold on.
All right,
There's
tilt
the
it,
guac.
tilt it a little bit.
Tilt your camera down.
Oh yeah, a little more, a little more. There you go. Oh
There's the
man,
nachos.
beautiful.
And there are the wings and the guac.
Come on now. That looks great. That looks great. That's what
Hello.
that makes my heart feel good. I'm telling you. Man, oh man, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm getting ready to pull some of these wings up and I'm gonna show you what I do. Normally we go right into the sauce. So I'm gonna put it right into this barbecue sauce. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of the other wings after I drop these tenders for the person who needs the tenders. I'm gonna let it go another minute. There we go. Just about a minute, we're ready. Oh, yeah. How do those wings taste without seasoning? Just the sauce. We get to taste all that sauce, don't we?
Haven't tasted it yet, but I'm getting my plate today.
All right, so this is what we normally do. Then we toss them a little bit. Toss the sauce over them. All right, this is just the barbecue. Come on, turn, baby. There you go. See how they get fully coated? All right. There we go. Lay it up here. Two. That's the honey barbecue. And then we have the Thai spicy barbecue right now coming up. And then that is all she wrote. I'll drop those tenders for the tenderoni. Right. The honey barbecue. I mean, this is the Thai barbecue. Finishing up the Thai barbecue here. Actually, I'm gonna put some of this on the tenders when they're done too. All right. Everybody doing okay?
Yep.
All right, we're gonna show you ours in a minute.
To be ready for honey.
See, you don't need ranch dressing. You don't need any of that extra stuff. Blue cheese. See everything? Chip and dip. No double dipping. Little guacamole. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How's that look? Everybody good?
Yeah.
Gonna be a single dip on the tenders. Oh, I want you to get in there too bad. Oh, no, great. Oh, yeah. Any questions? All right, guys. Thank you for participating and spending your morning or afternoon here with Cooking with Carrington, where there's always a party in your mouth. Hey, guys. All right, thank you for Cooking with Carrington, where there's always a party in your mouth. Wonderful that you spent your afternoon, or morning, or time with us today. We appreciate it. You come back next week, next month for November 12th, where we're going to take a tantalizing journey down what is chili. And we're going to do a couple different types of chili. So where I come from, we put beans in our chili. Down here, they said that's not real chili if you put beans in it. But then we're also going to make us a little bit of chicken chili so that everybody can understand that. As a matter of fact, we'll probably do a Brazilian chicken chili, chicken and black bean chili, which is actually wonderful. And so that there's different ways to make chili and everybody has their own, but they all taste great. And guess what, guys? It'll all be a party in your mouth when you taste all of them. If you need anything else, give us a holler, give us some comment, give some feedback. Let us know. Go to our website, cookingwithcarrington.com, and leave some comments for us. Anything that you would like to see that we could do for you, or anything that we need to make. If you're interested in purchasing any of our products, you can go to cookingwithcarrington.com and look them up, and we'll definitely get back to you. If you have anything else, go enjoy. I want to see everybody's dish. We're about to just turn up. The recording's about to cut off, but we'll still be on live for any questions